Hi, this video shows some of the wilderness near the Oregon border in the Siskiyous after the big fire around I-5. We went in above I-5 on the old Summit Road, which was the highway before I-5 was built. Used to be it was, close to 11 miles on a dirt road from Pilot Rock into the land, but there's no longer a road there. It's turned into a wilderness area, and so there's no motor vehicles allowed. I spent a lot of time there around 37 years ago. That year I spent over 5 months there. Other times I've spent different amounts. The number of times I've cross-country skied in the winter when everything was covered with snow. It was a beautiful wilderness that I really grew to like and appreciate. But I haven't been there in a long time. 20 years ago I went in for a one-day trip. I took a shortcut out and I hadn't been there back. So this wilderness area is new, so it makes a longer way in. This is what was a dirt road on the way in. You can see along there things have been burnt, but there's still a lot of greenery. Everything hadn't been destroyed. And it was the big question, what are the trees like in the valley and the land we had? I wouldn't know till I got there. Looking on the way in, I could see a lot of partially burnt things, but a lot of things that seemed to survive pretty well. So it seemed sort of optimistic that things would go well.
Looking at some of the area that was burnt last summer's fire, at least the ground looks pretty good and a lot of things are coming up. All the trees around Pilot Rock are intact, looking pretty good. A shortcut on that side of the hill, but it looks pretty steep. Haven't been there in many years. A little bit of downhill after a little bit of uphill, but the main thing is most of the fire is on the left, and they pretty much had it controlled from getting across the trail, except a couple places there. But overall, even though fire is there, you look at the trees high up, most of them are still pretty green, looking pretty good. Up ahead there's a little creek we cross. It's a general nice spot. It's the Wooded Glen. Always a beautiful spot. Once I came out with the BLM people, I'm going to measure the roads and part of this. They took one look at this and said, boy, what a great place to have a park. So although it's still green and great here, and the fire came up to the edge and then stopped right as it got close to the Wooded Glen. And I can hear the water. There's always some water here. At one point there was a culvert and we came and dug it out so it wouldn't wash away, but many years on their own, things tend to revert to nature. And then there's the other side.
That peak up ahead in the distance is the tallest point on the property. It's around 4,600 feet elevation. To really get in the valley, we have to go around the side of that. I didn't get a chance to go to the top of that peak this time, because basically we got a late start. It was a long walk in and a long walk out. I had to drive a long ways home that night. But this gives you an idea of some of the area we came through on the way there, and most things actually look pretty good. Sure, there was a fire here, but it doesn't really reflect it too much in this area here. And there's the peak again, and there's our trail going back up. There's another view of Mount Shasta. There's lots of views of Mount Shasta around here.
This is the old property line. This is what's left of what we used to lock the property so people didn't wander in. Down ahead is where the trail, one road goes down into the valley, the other goes down into where we planted a bunch of fruit trees. In 1982, none of them are surviving. This is the peak where a friend of mine ashes have been spread. This is sort of where we came from, Pilot Rock. We walked sort of from the other side of that to get over here, so it's been sort of a long walk. That other peak up there, see if I can get up there and get a view of the land.
This is my first look into the valley. It's very green, there's a lot of wild flowers, but unfortunately it looks like all the trees have burnt down. There's Mount Shasta again. And this is more of another look into the valley where we'd walk down into the bottom, which is around 3,600 feet. A beautiful, peaceful place. Yeah, there was a regular bunch of deer that would hang out when we were there. And you can see, things do green. There's a lot of life coming back. Things come back after the fire. But a lot of the taller trees just did not make it at all. That's sort of sad. And there's the peak.
Didn't get an early enough start. It's a longer ways in. Now this is a wilderness area, and you can't drive part way. But on the next thing, I'll probably, it's like up the hill here. More wildflowers than they've ever been before.
And there's my wife that made the long hike in and the long hike out and seemed to enjoy it, even though it may have been more than she was hoping for.
This is the valley from one of the peaks on the land. Not the tallest one, but it is above 4,000 feet. There's 14,000 foot Mount Shasta in the background. One of those hills between us and that hill and back there is the Klamath River. And this is the 4,600 foot peak, the highest point on the land. My friend Chuck ashes were spread out from there. This is sort of back towards where we came from. There's Pilot Rock, and some of the land we had, over the 320 acres, went back this direction. Obviously, looks like that all got burnt, just like this all got burnt. And going down that other direction goes to the Klamath River also. There's a couple of dams and lakes that they were going to take the dams down. They probably had to help the fish have better habitat.
And there's one of the two deer we saw. So some deer are coming back and making a home there and able to enjoy living there again. It was sort of sad to see the place burnt, but I was happy I was not living there when the fire came. This is a view of Pilot Rock. If you want to climb it, go around the back. There's an easier way up. If you like this at all, please hit the thumbs up button, and please remember to hit the subscribe button.